As they say in the movies, be afraid, be very afraid.
This man, what a frightening sight.
It's like something straight out of a horror movie.
Look at his face. His expression never changes. It's like he's possessed.
Yeah, but what's more terrifying...
that he's Prime Minister. Too often he behaves like
the devil.
The truth is that he's in witness protection, as are so many of these government ministers. This is a rabble. It's a mess.
We've made a complete mess of the country, which was avoidable, and I think we probably will lose it.
And that's a tribute to Anthony's leadership.
and rightly so.
Is it too late to save Australia? Have we lost it? Well, it's almost too late, but we can still save Australia. The happy, prosperous, egalitarian Australia we all grew up in can still return. In a more modern form, obviously, but only if we maintain our Judeo-Christian values of thrift, hard work, common sense, charity, sense of humour and camaraderie, and pride in our history. That is the bedrock of this nation. Mateship, a good laugh, and a fair suck of the salve.
I earn a good
Suck of the salve.
with Alan Joyce.
I love it, Albo.
I can't even get to first base.
We shouldn't be surprised.
This is quite literally the most important election of our lives. The two most important numbers you should focus on from Labor's disgraceful budget this week are the easiest two to remember: 1 million and 1 trillion. Labor have let into this country over 1 million people in the last couple of years. We are a migrant nation, so measured and careful immigration is a part of who we are. Immigration that assimilates. But reckless, out-of-control immigration damages every aspect of our lives, driving up the cost of housing, pricing young people out of the market, distorting the jobs market, draining and straining our generous health and welfare services, increasing congestion, and in the worst cases, destroying social cohesion.
We have an agenda to build on that in our second term.
Be afraid, be very afraid.
It is beyond my comprehension why anyone in this place would seek to suggest that
Money is being thrown onto a bonfire of useless woke ideology. We have nothing to show for this obscene amount of money, nothing at all. And the waste and stupidity and corruption will only get worse if Labor is re-elected, because Labor is wedded to the insane ideology of powering this nation with windmills and solar panels in order to save the planet.
I have done exactly what I said I would do,
In order to save the planet.
and I've worked pretty hard.
Ridiculous bullshit.
The truth is that
We have zero new investment of any meaningful kind coming into this country. The government's idea of green hydrogen, superpower, renewable superpower, repeated again and again in the budget, is juvenile nonsense and pure fantasy. Everything Labor touches goes down the gurgler or blows out by billions of dollars.
that's my style. I hope you've noticed that.
$1 trillion debt after 2 years of record iron ore prices. What will our debt be like after another term of these half-wits? 2 trillion, 3 trillion, pluck it out of thin air. When will the madness come to an end, and what sort of a crippled, impoverished, mendicant nation will we be? Albo Australia equals Povo Australia.
That's what we've done.
This is it, as they say. The games are over. We are at a fork in the road, and the decision this nation makes in 5 weeks' time will reverberate for decades.
This election, our future hangs in the balance, not between whether Dutton or Albo gets elected, but by whether or not we can finally break this duopoly mindset, this uniparty, this two wings of the same bird mindset among the Australian voting public. Because I don't know about you, but I don't think our country can survive much more of this uniparty nonsense.
You have 5 weeks to sit your kids down, speak to your work colleagues, chat to the neighbours, get on the blower to far-flung family and friends, and convince them
About the freedom-friendly minor parties who have real history of real electoral success and who we know, because they've done it consistently, that when they get elected, they stand up for less taxes, less regulation, less government intrusion into our lives, less red tape, less green tape, and more freedom for we, the people of Australia. The parties that actually have a history of getting people elected who then do that, well, they are the Libertarian Party. Now, they used to be known as the Liberal Democrats, but they are not anything like the Liberal Party, not even close. Think of them as what the Liberal Party should have been if it hadn't betrayed its values. So there's Libertarians. There's also One Nation. Now, Senators Hanson and Roberts, they have a long history of fighting for the Australian people. So the inclusion of One Nation is, well, it requires no explanation. There's also the People First Party. You may not have heard of them. This is the one that has Senator Rennick. He's from Queensland. He's just started this party now that he's departed from the Liberal Party because he simply didn't share their values anymore. Finally on this list is Trumpet of Patriots, which again might be one you've never heard of. Think of them as the United Australia Party by proxy for this election.
There can be no more mucking around. No voting for Labor, no voting for Teals, and no voting for Greens. If you're a newcomer to these shores, I'm glad you're here, but don't destroy the very thing you have come to. We have been warned.
Because one of the main reasons why people don't want to vote for these freedom-friendly parties is because they incorrectly believe that this makes it more likely that Albo will win. They think, well, if I vote for the Libertarians, then I'm not voting for the Liberal Party, and that means that Albo's going to win. But our preferential voting system was designed especially to fix this problem. So you can vote, number one, for the parties that you actually like, and then just make sure that you place the less bad major party above the more bad major party. And in the event that one of the best candidates that you put at 1, 2, 3, or 4 doesn't win, then your vote will work its way down the numbers and will end up going to the less bad of the major parties.
Australians are really doing it tough, and we need a better government. My big concern with this government is what is there to be proud of? You know, the sort of nonsense that we've seen of playing wedge politics against vulnerable people.